Hi. Hi. Welcome to the Saturday chat.
Is this the first Saturday chat of 2025?
I don't know.
No, it's not. It's the second.
I'd have to look at calendars.
I'm so confused. Time's hard.
Time is difficult.
So this week, we're tackling a Bruce Springsteen song.
Again, it's a retro one. But we haven't talked about it.
We've not talked about it.
I love Bruce.
Yeah. Excuse me. And you really like the song.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Love this song.
I find that people fall in one of two camps. They're either strong Bruce Springsteen fans or don't really care for him at all.
Yeah.
It's like there's not a lot of indifference to Bruce Springsteen.
I don't understand the people that don't care for him.
But I have to say that, is there really more an American experience than the Bruce Springsteen song? It is like he writes about heartland America and blue collar probably more often and more effectively than any author I can think of immediately.
He's a great storyteller. And it's funny that you say, there's two camps. There were two camps for this song when it first came out. Some people said it was his best song that he's ever written. Some people say it's the weakest song that he's ever written.
Yeah, they say it's the sloppiest they ever wrote. And the people that say that it's sloppy use the fact that he held 3 jobs in 3 verses.
Which, I mean, actually, it's 3 jobs in 5 verses. But, yeah, that is an experience, though. Come on, Janet. Here's Janet.
She coming back with
Let's
us.
see what she protects me from now.
Springsteen, though. I mean, so, interestingly, this is one of the first albums that I ever asked for as a gift as a child.
Really?
Was Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen.
All right, so it was this song was recorded in 1984. Do you remember when you got the album?
Yeah, it was in 1984.
It was in 1984. Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
So that would have made me just 10 years old when I got this album.
10, yeah.
Yeah. I was just getting into music really for the first time.
That's cool.
I remember I got this album, and then right around that time got the John Cougar Mellencamp Scarecrow album. I really like that too. I like music at a young age. So, do you find, because you're a songwriter and you're a big fan of Springsteen, the more I listen to his lyrics and the more I listen to his music, in the early days, I would say that, because his music was upbeat, that he had a lot of happy music. But the more that I listen to it, I find him very cynical and just, I guess, I think that, as I put it earlier, the blue collar aspect of it, the struggle.
What do you find
writes
cynical?
About the struggle.
What's?
I guess maybe not cynical as much as, I guess maybe a lot of it's just realism and realistic views. There's no. It's hard to explain his music in a way because it's almost like the music romanticizes the struggle of being a blue collar worker and struggling with life and loss and.
There is a bit of romanticism to it, and I think a lot of really good country music is that. It's really rooted in the everyday average person's living experience and the struggle, the everyday heartbreak, I guess is what it is, because there is an everyday heartbreak for the majority of humans alive on the planet of not being able to realize your full potential because of a lack of education or a lack of opportunity or a lack of financial capability there to realize the things that you thought that you could. And some of it has to do with your partnerships. And if your partner, whether in business or in your romantic relationship, is on a different path than you and you're diverging, there's a lot of pain that comes along with that. And I think when you diverge from your dream path, there's a lot of pain that goes with that. So I think that there are certain artists that they paint with a darker palette. Mm-hmm. It's a realistic palette. It's not necessarily cynical. It's just putting a light on the things we all recognize as regular.
That's why so many people really relate to him, right? Because, and maybe other people don't like him because they want to feel good, you know.
Yeah,
and his
I can see that.
His music can be feel good, but it's not the typical feel good, you know. It's like he talks a lot about lost love, losing wives, losing girlfriends, not keeping up with people, how maybe like as you age, your glory days have gone behind you.
I think that song is epic. Yeah,
like
glory days.
How the country has failed us, you know, how we fail each other, how we fail ourselves, you know, and a lot of this stuff that he talks about, I think, you know, it's important subject matter for people that consider themselves to be self-introspective.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that he kind of also shines a light on how it's strange that we feel the need to cheerlead the sinking ship that we're on. Whether it's in a relationship or look at this sweet thing. What are you doing? What are you doing?
She likes to listen to you talk.
Hi, baby.
She's talking to you.
Hi, honey. I've lost my train of thought because I have a cute cat.
Cheerleading the sinking ships
that we're on. Yeah.
No, it's interesting. It is, and you know, just jumping back for a minute, you said that like a lot of country music, you were comparing it to country music, and I think that there was a day, you know, when maybe when people considered country music more authentic, they considered it.
It was accessible.
It was. They also considered it like the music of the common man because it related more to the daily stuff, and I don't think that that's necessarily true anymore. You know, and I look at artists that are doing, like maybe not what Springsteen's doing, but they talk about like the plight of the common man, the blue collar worker, the average American, and I think of artists like Jason Isbell and you know Ray LaMontagne to some extent. You know,
not shying away from the painful subject of regular living.
They talk about it, you know, and it's like Jason Isbell talks about addiction and struggles and failed marriages and cancer and all sorts of things, you know, and it's like, what better medium is there for it than, you know, music? Because
that marriage of lyric and melody,
it draws us together and it's able to heal wounds that, or at least help you process things that maybe you couldn't process or didn't want to process.
I think that's a really great way to put it. Yeah, processing, because it's not like we're putting it away, but we have to continue to walk through the regular living, and it can be the common experience can be uncommonly painful.
I think that like music is just such a great medium, and I'm grateful for it in my life. I know that it's really changed the person that I became because of the music that I listened to, but then also through the connections I made with other fans of the artists of the music that I listen to. Yeah. You know, not to mention all the people we meet as being musicians, but just meeting other fans of similar music and the connections you make. Yeah. And lifelong friendships. And it's just it's an extremely powerful medium, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I agree.
As we start this new year, I'm excited about building new bonds through music.
So to you, I agree with that. Yes, and.
Yes, and.
So when you listen to the song Downbound Train, what does that mean to you, Downbound Train?
So the Downbound Train to me is the one that's leaving town.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that train has left the station. Interesting.
Yeah, like that train's left the station. Like it's leaving the station to go out of town. Like it's not a crosstown train. It's not an uptown train. It's a downbound train, which means probably, you know, I picture a city in New Jersey or New York, and this train's headed south. It's headed out of town, and that person's gone. Like they're leaving.
A completely different perspective. And then I have an additional one that I learned. Okay, so my perspective on it, Downbound Train, was an increasingly downward trajectory, like not good, like down, feeling down, like you feel like you're not the engineer, you're not the driver, you're not the conductor, you have no control, you're just a rider.
Well, you're using it more as a metaphor,
train.
But like in the song, it can be a metaphor in this song, I think, but also it's clearly a train because he here's the train leaving the station. And
well, she got a ticket on a train to leave. Yeah.
And here's the whistle.
So get this though, Chuck Berry years before released a song called Downbound Train, which was about
Indeed.
he drank, or the character in the song drank to excess, passed out on the barroom floor, and had a very vivid dream of being in a train that was driven by the devil.
Oh.
And so he woke up and like swore off drink from then on. So that's the crux of that song. So I wonder if there was some touch on that. Do you feel like you're on a train driven by the devil? Like your life is just on this trajectory you don't have control over?
It could be a reason that he chose that particular lyric, because I'm pretty sure that Springsteen has cited Chuck Berry as an influence of his.
Okay.
So it makes sense that he would be familiar with that
Yeah,
song,
I kind of wondered if that was, but I couldn't find any interviews or anything, and they could be out there. I just
no. So this song originally was for. So there's an album by Springsteen called Nebraska.
Yes.
Which was his original demos to try to get signed to a record label.
I think that this was part of it, right?
Yeah. The song
it was never
there.
meant to be recorded.
It was just acoustic. It was just acoustic, and then.
Wasn't it Atlantic City on that too?
It was, and Born in the USA, the acoustic version, I believe, was on there. So this album, though, Born in the USA, which came, I think it was his third or fourth album. It was after The River and Born to Run, which came out much sooner. Mm-hmm. Born in the USA, this particular, so at some point they recorded what was going to be called Nebraska, the Electric Sessions, or Electric Sessions in Nebraska Electric, and they recorded this particular song for that album, and it was never released. But this was one of the few songs that they said that the recordings were actually usable, and they released it on this album. And it was never released as a single; it was just an album cut.
I very much like this song. Well, when I have a listening experience, it's extremely rare. I think we've talked about it before. Hey friends, Ashley of SugarLimeBlue here, wanting to share our special bundle with you. We got new shirts and our Roots guitar logo. Super duper excited about it. And we have hats to match. Check it out. Beautiful. We love them. I don't usually wear hats, but Dave said I should put one on, so there I go, rocking my hat.
Adorable.
Get yours now. For me to stop what I'm doing, because I have sound going in the background fairly often while I'm doing other things. And it's extremely rare for
something to grab your attention.
Something to grab me completely out of what I'm doing to go, what is this? I need more of it. Do it again. Do it until I'm sick of it. So there's a few songs that I've done that with, and this is one of the Springsteen songs that I just wanted to listen to. And it's not because I have a shared experience there. It just felt so good to listen to, and his delivery of it was so moving that I just wanted to immerse in it.
That some critics say that this, they say that a lot of critics agree that this is the saddest song that he ever wrote.
Yeah.
But then some people say that it's actually the saddest song ever written.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know that I'd go that far, but I did have this wonderment, though. I was pondering on the lyrics. So there's this house that he and his girl lived in, supposedly his wife, because it was their wedding house, he says in one of the lyrics.
Yeah, this is a song about losing your wife.
Right. Okay, so she's gone, and where it falls in the course of the song, so he first worked at the lumberyard, then he's at the car wash where all it ever does is rain, which is perfectly terrible.
Which people say that line is one of the best country lyrics ever written.
I mean, because you don't wash your car when it's raining, so there's not enough work to be had is the what I get from it. Anyway,
oh really? No,
yeah.
I got the like work at the car wash wherever it does is rain. It always rains because it's a car wash. It's always water.
No, I was just thinking that it was always raining, so nobody came in to get their car washed.
I think it's just because the rain, like it's like a metaphor. The car wash is the
car
rain.
wash. Okay, all right. So he always feels bad then.
Yeah,
okay.
It fits his mood. He's always
fine.
feeling bad.
All right, that makes sense. Also, so
yes, and
all right, yes. So this is before, in the context of the lyrics, this is before he's working on the railroad with the railroad gang. Mm-hmm. So he's asleep and has this dream once again echoing Chuck Berry's Downbound Train, but he has this dream that she was like, hey, I'm home, I'm waiting for you. Where was this man that he was sleeping and had to put on his jacket and go home, go running home? He wasn't in a car because he ran. So was he at the car wash? Had this man fallen asleep at the car wash? It was at night because the moon shone. So where was this man at that he fell asleep?
Maybe at the bar.
Maybe he was at the bar, just like Chuck Berry. I don't know, but I was thinking on it. It was an interesting pontification.
I think it's very well expressed how it is to be a human, and it's implied, right, that like she just left him. Like, it's not like
she said she was leaving.
She left him.
We had it once. We don't have it anymore.
He did something wrong, he's blaming himself, or it's love lost. But it's I think it's very well expressed, the feeling of how it feels to not want to let go of love,
right,
and being forced to let go of love.
Well, he said too in the first verse, as he lost his job, he had everything all together, he thought, and then times got hard. He got laid off. Times got hard. Their love went bad. He says, our love went bad. So he wasn't putting it all on her. The love went bad before she decided to leave. It sounded like they had tried to make a go of it, and it just wasn't working, and she made the choice to go elsewhere. So I do like that there wasn't any blame put there on her specifically for leaving, but there was hope that perhaps she would return, or that love would return. He had it in the form of his wife, which is well put. But I think it was more than just that. I think it was the hope of the things prior to the first verse all returning, like having one's life kind of sewn together without any leaks. And I think he felt like just a big leak at that point. Yeah. It's a good song. I really like it. I think it's beautiful.
Is there a particular lyric that you find that grabs you the most, or sticks out the most to you?
Yeah, absolutely. When he dropped to his knees, hung my head and cried.
Really? So that's like, because that's...
It's just so
instrumentally, that's the only part that's different,
moving.
And it's set apart specifically musically for that one part. Like, it highlights it.
I think it leaves space.
Melodically and space-wise.
Because I think when a lot of people think of Bruce Springsteen specifically, he's very... American machismo, if I can say that, right?
Yeah.
Very that. And to have space to be moved, to emote with your whole body, with your whole emotion as that icon, let's go. Because...
it's a good example, right?
Emotions don't belong solely to women. I think we've established this, but emotiveness has traditionally in our society belonged to women. So to drop to your knees, hang your head and weep, to cry, to have that physical reaction to your internal turmoil, I don't know why men have not been allowed to express, or that women have been shamed by their expressiveness, because there have been studies that show that crying actually releases chemicals in the brain that helps you to get to the next stage in your process. And like, there's so much that's good for you physically as well as emotionally from the action of crying. And it makes me want to cry just thinking of all of the little boys who have grown to men saying, don't cry, or the people who are in the middle of grief that have been consoled with a don't cry. That is the most ridiculous thing. Cry. If you feel like crying, cry. And then you're not going to live there. You're not going to shed tears forever. But crying is cathartic. It's part of our experience. It's something that we can all identify with, and there's no shame in it. And I think that the space that he made in that song, both musically, like instrumentally, space was held in 1984. And I feel like we're just sort of catching up with that as a whole people going, yeah, we kind of all want to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that like you said, the American machismo or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like Springsteen has always been lifted as that, but if you look at him for like his lyrical content and like the ability to express himself in the way, if you stop for a minute and think about it, you'll understand that he's not. He expresses those things, but he also shows a more tender side of men in general. That
I think that's why I'm such a big fan.
Push it away, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like he shows both sides very well, the strength and the fragility of men, because it's the human condition, right? Is what he writes about, and like the human condition, you can't express the greatness of humanity without expressing the leastness or the most broken part of humanity. Like because if it's like with anything, if everything was just the mountaintop, then you can't see the mountaintop unless you're standing in the valley.
Right.
Right. So
you can't appreciate the journey to either place without the other. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big thing, and I think he does both very well.
I think
not only as the writer, but also as the example.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's an example.
Agreed. Well done, Bruce. If you happen to be watching,
thumbs up.
Yeah, we approve.
So, and thank you. You know, I mean, because this was an album, one of my first albums, that I listened to. So it impacted me in a lot of ways. Because I mean, I remember listening to the song hundreds of times, probably, along with "Born in the USA" and "Glory Days," which I didn't understand as much, but I liked the song.
Yeah.
As a young person, it's hard to understand.
But as you age, you're like, oh.
Yeah, that was a really good song. Yeah. So, anyhow, well, thank you guys for joining us this week, and we hope that you keep joining us throughout 2025.
Yeah. We got questions? Oh, we have a little update for our little chicken expedition.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't believe that we've told everybody about the additions.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to tell?
So we are up to 13 hens now with our 2 roosters.
So we have 15 chickens total now.
They've started laying most recently.
They have, even in the winter.
And that's nice. And they're making a happy little home. So if you like chickens, then definitely follow us on Facebook, because that's the most likely place that you'll see pictures, or Instagram, Facebook or Instagram.
Maybe little videos
some
coming
chickens, up. So you can see some chin-chins.
Chickens.
And they're out in the snow today playing.
Yeah, we're going to have to go put them to bed here shortly. So
we are. So
what about you guys? What are you up to in 2025?
Let us know.
What are your dreams for this year?
You got to let us know. Are you a Springsteen lover or a Springsteen hater?
Lover. Yeah. Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to
we'll be going live very soon too.
Yeah. Yeah. On the day that the shout out comes out, which I don't have the date.
Oh, well, that'll be another thing. So
yeah, we're gonna do an event. We're having an event.
That's tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow.
Yes.
So if you're watching this video, then tomorrow after you watch a shout out at noon Central, we'll be streaming our set from the Bull and Thistle. But it was captured the last day of the Bull and Thistle.
So that would have been December 22nd.
It's going to be a special presentation. We're going to stream the whole first set. It was mixed. You have multi-camera audio and video. And it's we're proud of it. It came out good. It was, it was a celebration. It was a day of celebration. Yes. We're sad that we lost the venue and that they are... going to developers, but we are happy that we could spend that time with them. We're happy for the 2 years we spent with them. If you never got a chance to visit the Bull and Thistle, we hope that you'll join us and visit it one last time with us. We will be leaving that video up, so if you're watching this video at a later date, you're going to want to search for Bull and Thistle December 22nd.
Final show, I believe.
Our final show, Bull and Thistle SugarLimeBlue. And if you have joined us regularly at the Bull and Thistle, because a lot of people have, we've made a lot of friends there, then we hope you'll join us one more time. Yeah,
and Dave and I will be online. It's not going to be like a review sort of a thing, but we'll be online to chat with you.
Yeah,
if you want to come and chat with us while we listen to the show. So come join us. It's going to be about an hour or so, and we hope to see you with us, and we'll be chatting back and forth with you. So, yeah.
Indeed.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there. Have a good week.